What's going on, Twitch? What's going on, YouTube? We back, baby. We back. It's the best time of the year, man. Don't mind my shirt being all wrinkly and shit. Just got out the shower, threw on a little sleep shirt real quick to make this podcast before I start getting ready for work. Man, today, currently NBA draft day, you feel me? Currently got the draft going on right now as we speak. I waited to hop on this bitch until the Bulls did their first two picks. I was supposed to stream this bitch while reacting to the draft live and all that shit, but I literally woke up at 6:51. Draft started at 7, so I didn't have time to get the box out of my brother's room, do all this other shit, and be on time for the draft. So I figured I'll just wait until the first two picks can be over with. Wait for the Warriors picks. Wait for the Hornets picks to see what was going on there. But we're here, baby. Let's get straight into it, man. Let's get straight into it. The Bulls didn't fumble this time. They might have fucked up our number 15th pick, maybe, but that's what we're about to get into actually right now. We're going to look at some of his highlights, look at some of the stats, and see if he fits our team, if he's a good player, all that good stuff. But first, we're going to get into the actual draft in general. I got to pull it up on here, though. That screen bright as fuck. Where's my window capture? Alright. Following the draft right here. Oh, that's why this was over there. Let's get into it, man. The Bulls and my Warriors today made great, excellent picks. I wish the Bulls would have traded that number 15 pick with Josh Giddey to get something. We could have traded with Sacramento and just got Darius Acuff. I really wanted Darius Acuff on the Chicago Bulls. It made sense. His play style. He reminds me of Kobe White in a way, which we just lost. Somebody that can make very well, score the ball very well, be aggressive, explosive, can shoot the ball, all that great stuff. Probably, in my opinion, it is the best point guard in this draft. In my opinion, he's definitely the best scorer in the draft. You know, so people gonna say Darren Peterson's the best point guard, but whatever. You feel me? Let's go over the top 10 picks real quick. The Washington Wizards get AJ DeBansa. The Wizards are fucking stacked, and to be honest with you, okay, I'm trying to make sure the screen don't look crazy with this white. To be honest with you, whether they keep Anthony Davis or trade Anthony Davis, they will still continue to be stacked. No matter what, they will be stacked. Because what you're going to get for Anthony Davis back is going to be either some great role players with some future first round picks, or you're going to get, honestly, both not a future, but I was reading something. Or you can get back an all-star caliber player with some first-round picks or some role players. So no matter what you do with Anthony Davis, whether you decide to keep him or get rid of him, you're still going to be a great contending team in this Eastern Conference. Then we go on to the Jazz, getting Darren Peterson. I love that for the Jazz. That's kind of what they needed. They kind of needed another guard aside Keontae George. Just go out there and kind of help him defend, a bigger guard. They both can score the ball extremely well next to each other, I think. And then you have all these big-ass wings and centers next to him. Obviously, Cressler Walker is somebody they have to make a decision on, whether they're going to decide to re-sign him, give him the money he's asking for, do a sign and trade to get somebody else over there, or just let him walk and sign somebody else in free agency. But they are definitely in a great position to make a splash in the Western Conference this year. This guy right here, y'all know if y'all been watching me stream, been watching my Instagrams, I wanted this guy so bad to Chicago Bulls, but hey, still didn't get a bad pick up here at number 4. But number 3, we get the Memphis Grizzlies sign Cam Boozer. That's an amazing pick. I'm not gonna hold you. Obviously, the NBA is going back to dual threat bigs, where you have two great bigs in your lineup, whether that's going to be in the starting lineup or in your closing lineup to end the game because of Victor Wet Bananas. Obviously, we're going to get into it even later. OKC even getting drafted another center to play aside Chet. Obviously, that's for Wemby. But, so the fact they have Cam Boozer and Zach Edey over there is fucking insane. Not going to lie. The Twin Towers is the theme of the NBA right now. So that's an amazing pickup for the Grizzlies. Even if I still think, in a situation where Ja Morant stays there and that works out, and they somehow, some way can get a third player over there, like a wing. I mean, what I mean by a third player, a wing or even a shooting guard to play aside him that can shoot the ball extremely well, aside Ja, with those Twin Towers over there. In the draft pick they had last year, Cedric, I know he got injured, but Cedric pairing him with Ja Morant and a solid two with Zach Edey and Cam Boozer, that can be something that can be an underrated team in this Western Conference, even if they're a play-in team and can possibly get another lottery pick going into next year's draft. That could be a team that can make a serious run in a couple years back and being back in playoff contention. But it all depends on what you do with Ja Morant, whether you keep him or trade him. I still think the Memphis Grizzlies are in a great position, but all we can do is see, man. I think free agency probably opens up July 1st, I believe, or it might be open already. I can't tell because this guy's getting signed and shit. It changes every year. But Chicago Bulls draft Caleb Wilson. I'm glad that we stuck to the program. We took the next best available player. We took somebody that we needed, and now they did what I wanted them to do. We're gonna move Modest to the 3, put Caleb at the 4, and now we got Nick Claxton at the 5, with Josh Giddey being our point guard currently. Now all we gotta do is figure out our 2-guard situation. I love it. Starting 5 is looking great. I don't know if we're going to be a contending team in the East. Anthony Simmons and Colin Sexton is two people that's unrestricted free agencies on our team. That we either got to decide if we're going to offer them a contract or move into another direction. Nick Richards is a restricted free agent. I honestly would love to bring him back to get some more depth in our front court there. And yeah, the Bulls are in a great position. We also had a number 15 pick. We'll get into that in a minute, like I said at the beginning. So we had 2 picks in the top 20 of this draft, and a stacked draft. Can't complain. Did the right decision here. Clippers got Keaton Wagler. Not a big fan of him, from Illinois. Obviously they got him just so he can play along Darius Garland, to have a bigger guard or along him to help defensively once they get towards that playoff shit where they're just not picking on him. They're kind of, switch on pick and rolls and shit and kind of get the matchup they want to get him off the better player in the situation. Brooklyn Nets draft Macau Brown. Know much about him. The Kings, probably the best pick of the night, Darius Acuff. I really do think this is going to be one of the best players to come out of this goddamn draft. He's getting handed the keys of this franchise. They're going to build around him. I think in terms of being in the best position, he has the best position to make a great run and get some great money and be a great prospect in the NBA, man. I can't wait to see what he does over there, because I honestly think the Kings are getting rid of DeRozan, Zach, and Sabonis. I think they're going to trade all those guys for draft picks and probably be a team where they take a bunch of guys on high salary, be a bunch of salary dumps and shit, but we'll see. Kingston Fleming to Atlanta. Jeff Teague been talking highly about him all year long, and that's who he wanted. So that's shout out to ATL for making that pickup. Cleveland is trading number 29. Morrell Johnson Jr. is with Dallas. Batenberg is with Milwaukee. Golden State with Yaxel. Another guy that I was very, 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 very high on. Yaxel from Michigan. I'm I really want the Bulls to get him as well. I was like the Warriors or the Bulls got to get him, man. The Warriors or the Bulls got to get him. So the Warriors got him. The last time the Warriors signed somebody from Michigan, it went extremely fucking well. So I'm very fucking excited to see how that goes. See him play around with Steph, Dre, a guy that can shoot the ball decently, attack the rim. It's gonna be amazing. Add some length to our lineup. Plays amazing defense. I'm excited to see him play defense with Draymond on the floor. See how that goes. OKC, Twin Towers, man. Got my guy Ade from Michigan. Play along Chet. A guy that can attack, he can shoot, he can play defense. For his size, he moves extremely well, man. That's a great pickup for them. Sad to see it. Nate Amon is going to Milwaukee. I'm not a big fan of this guy. I seen Michigan literally tear him apart. And I'm like, yeah, that's terrible. Charlotte, I don't know how to say his name, but he's a big guy. He's like 6'10", shows he can shoot the ball. Things like that, man. Doesn't really help Charlotte out too much. Then we got the Bulls number 15 with Dalen Swanson from Texas, a guard / forward. He's like 6'7". We're gonna do some YouTube search on him and see his highlights and shit like that. See how he plays and look up his stats. One thing I was very concerned with was he was projected to go from 20 to 25. And his shooting percentage is terrible. So I'm like, why couldn't we just trade the number 15 pick with Josh Giddey for the Sacramento number 7 pick or something like that? You feel me? Try to get Darius Acuff and then try to move somebody else on our team between the 20 and 25 and just draft them there. If that's who you really wanted still. But I don't know. We're going to see. We also have 2 second-round picks, so we're going to see. I'll see by the time I get to work where we draft there. OKC did a trade to move up to get this guy Bennett. Seems like he's just a 3-point shooter. They can play the perimeter a little bit. See, the rest of these people I don't really know from here on out. Not going to lie to you. I seen OKC drafted a guy. Not OKC. The Lakers drafted Carr, the point guard from Baylor. That everybody thought the Bulls were gonna draft. So that's interesting. Christian Anderson did sign with Charlotte. I think that's a decent pickup. That's the last guy that I kind of know from this draft class. Not gonna lie to you. Cameron Carr right here. Knicks picked him up. Did a trade with Los Angeles, so he's going to the Lakers. I'm not gonna lie, I think the Lakers, like any LA team, is probably one of the worst teams to go to as a draft pick. Not gonna lie, just simply because them taxes, man. You're a rookie, especially if you get late. If you're not a top 15 pick, the money goes down tremendously. So going to LA and pay all those taxes, it's fucking insane. The fact that the first round is still not over with is insane. I stopped watching the draft at 19. I took a 30-minute shower and they were only on pick fucking 26. It's been another almost probably 30 minutes probably. Yes. Almost another 30 minutes. Literally. And they're on pick 29. Yeah, so the Bulls got pick 38, I think 50 something. Do the Warriors have another pick? Just honestly, the only 2 teams I kind of care about going forward into the second round is a sleeper. On the Warriors, I picked 54. The Warriors have 54 and 56. And then the 38 the Bulls have as well. So tomorrow we do a little deep dive into the second round, depending on who the Bulls draft. And then kind of look them up, see what they're good at, see if it was a great pickup or not, see if it's a sleeper pick, shit like that. But I do want to look at this guy that we drafted from the Bulls right here. I heard them say he was shooting less than 30% from three. And I do want to talk about Caleb Wilson just a little bit because something concerned me a little bit. But all right, at Texas this year, he played 36 games, 32 minutes, averaged 17 points, shot 54% from the field, which is honestly decent. Well, not decent, it's amazing, kind of. Shooting 54% from the field as a point guard. Shooting 54% from the field as a guard is insane if he was playing guard the whole year. 34% from three isn't terrible. Isn't terrible, but in the NBA, he'll probably start shooting like 28%. Not gonna lie. 81% from free throw. That's great to see. Average damn near 8 rebounds, 4 assists, almost 2 steals a game. Almost 3 turnovers though. It's kind of crazy. Not gonna lie, almost 3 turnovers a game. So that's something that we have to pay attention to, look out for. But I'm gonna type his name back up in the YouTube search. Look at some highlights. Just off stats alone, there's nothing other than he's probably gonna shoot the ball extremely bad in the NBA his first year. Something that we're gonna have to look out for, and then just the turnovers. Other than that, it's nothing too alarming here. So look at some of these highlights. Let's see. He's on the draft grade. They gave him a C+. Let's see what this video is, and then we'll get into deeper highlights.
Sports HQ on the clock. The Chicago Bulls have selected Dalen Swain, the forward out of Texas, 6'8", 225 with the 15th overall selection. 17 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists per game. One of 2 Division I players with 17, 7, and 3 averages on 50% shooting last season. The other player, Cam Boozer. So Dalen Swain headed to the Bulls, their second of 2 first-round picks here. Your grade is what on this one?
Let me first say that Dalen Swain is a polarizing prospect. I mean, if you believe in him, you think he's got a chance to emerge into one of the best defenders in this class. You love his creation and his rim pressure at his size, and you are hoping that he's going to get better as both a shooter and with a really high turnover rate. This is also proof that the Chicago...
Why is my mic going mute? And I'm nowhere near it. You see how far I am from my mic? And it's going mute. Shit throwing me off. Hold on, let me go back.
His creation and his rim pressure at his size, and you are hoping that he's going to get better as both a shooter and with a really high turnover rate. This is also proof that the Chicago Bulls front office is valuing exactly what we thought: size, length, and athleticism. I personally don't love this, but what I will tell you is if the Bulls didn't take Swain here, that it was a very strong possibility that Sam Presti took him with OKC with the Thunder's next pick. So I'm going to go C+, but generally speaking, it's a pretty good assumption that Sam Presti's smarter than I am.
And that's the thing. Maybe that's more than you need to know. If Sam Presti was going to take this guy 1 spot below me, in theory, maybe that's an indication that I should snatch him up right now. To be clear, it's higher than I would have done this, but I understand it. 6'7", explosive athlete on both ends of the court, can really drive.
And that's my entire point right there. He was projected to go 20 through 25, chat. 20 through 25. You're telling me that there was no type of offers for this 15 pick that was worth considering and trying to trade down with a team that wanted to move up a little bit in the draft? That's all I'm saying. And they highlight the point of what I was saying. The turnover rate is fucking insane. And he's going to shoot extremely bad going into this first year of the NBA. It's a bunch of late round picks getting in here, got little contending teams.
The question
Trying to
is
get some
shot
guys in
below
the draft.
35% from three. That's not good enough if you actually want to be an elite two-way player in the NBA. But shooting can come around for players. It often does. And if you are the Bulls here, that's what you're hoping for.
Stock on him was all over the board. Tried to talk about as much of these projected first-round picks with as many NBA people as I could in the past couple of weeks. And I had people thinking that Dalen Swain wasn't justified in going in the top 23 or 24 overall here. The Bulls obviously very much believe in him. Having watched Texas plenty last season, this was a team that barely squeaked into the NCAA tournament, then obviously the second weekend and really almost flirted with going to the Elite Eight. There were too many moments and too many games where Dalen Swain would just disappear for long stretches there. But they're not going to draft him off of that. They're going to draft him off of his measurables, of the understanding that he can be really a guy to flank alongside of Caleb Wilson and to bring some real size and physicality there. We'll see if he hits, but I do think this is objectively around the league. This will be seen as a swing, even if Presti was waiting in the wings there two spots back.
All right, so welcome back former NBA Coach of the Year, Avery Johnson. As a player in 1999, helped the Spurs win the NBA championship. Avery, Chicago going with Caleb Wilson, 4th overall. Dalen Swain here with the 15th pick. Let's talk about the fit now, as they also have acquired Nick Claxton as well as part of a trade a day before. What do you make of the fit and the picks here by Chicago?
Yeah, a little bit surprised Dalen Swain went here to Chicago. But again, with Caleb Wilson, we'll see what happens. I think they need Swain to be more of a guard. Really struggled turning the ball over, decision-making ability. But this is all about player development. Tiago Splitter, who's a former Spur, is now their head coach. So they're going to lean heavy on their player development. He's got poor shooting mechanics, but it can be corrected. He's still a young player, obviously, but a little bit of a surprise here. The Bulls have a lot of work to do. Obviously, they made the trade, and with Brooklyn Nets, Colin Sexton, who I coach, is there. We'll see, if he's going to be a starter in the backcourt or they're going to bring him off the bench. So I think the Bulls, when you have this many question marks, that normally leads to a team that's not going to make the playoffs, and that's going to be more in a 3-year rebuilding process with a new head coach.
Well, perhaps maybe Chicago's thinking, right, like they got a slam dunk, pun intended, on Caleb Wilson. Maybe you take a swing on a guy like Dalen Swain because somebody's either going to move up and take him or that he's going to be the next guy off the board.
Potentially, but I just don't see him as being the kind of player that's going to be a franchise-changing player. He could be a nice little piece. I mean, we're in the mid-teens at this point, so who's to say? Like, every single draft practically is littered with a couple of guys that hit and are underdrafted, and a couple of guys that just don't hit, period, and had no business being taken in the top 20, let alone where they wind up going. So we'll see. He is an impressive player. He's a little bit on the older side. That's another storyline that's developing here. We've got either freshmen or some pretty grizzled vets here that are coming through the ranks and getting drafted relatively high. I like to see that. But I'm surprised because I just don't think Swain's stock league-wide was surefire even.
Hold on, how old is he? He's my age. No, he's 1 year younger. Whoa, he's gonna be 20. Am I tripping? How is he born in 2005, but he's 20 years old? When the hell is his birthday? I was born in 2004, 21, but I'm about to be 22. So he's from. So how is his age in question? He's young as fuck. Am I tripping? Yeah, he's a July baby. He's a July baby. He turns 21. 10 days after I turned 22. So how's his age in question? Am I stupider? I mean, I guess 21 is kind of, up there in the NBA now. Considering some guys do 1 year of college and or get drafted at the age of 18, 19. But now with all the COVID shit and guys transferring over and over again, there's guys in college right now that's 23, 24 that's in this draft getting drafted. So is 21 really crazy? But I see what he's saying with the upside. He's already an older player compared to being a freshman out out of college getting drafted at 18, 19. So I guess they expect him to be a little bit more seasoned. I guess you can say more seasoned.
2011 going.
All right. I respect they take. They kind of said the same shit I said. So obviously I'm not too far off and my knowledge is there a little bit. You feel me? I mean, they're getting paid to say this shit on CBS. So I'm getting a couple cents to say it on Twitch. You feel me? But let's see.
Now we got to go help people customize.
I really wanted Darius Acuff, bro. He would have fit the Bulls so fucking well, chat. Fuck. I wanted Darius Acuff. Let's see some of these highlights, though. All right, he's 6'8", 225. He was a junior. Anything stands out here that I already seen this? I like the fact that he can't play the 1 through the 3. I said the 3.
To Swain,
The 1 through the 3.
Pass Yelovich. Come on!
It gives us some type of versatility. I don't need the sound. It gives us some type of versatility here. Especially Josh Giddey comes on the bench. We need a point guard that can move the ball. It seems as he has potential to do that. Okay. Nice little steal. Attack. Okay. Let me see. The graphics look a little terrible in this video, but okay, shim. Okay, show me a bag. Okay. I do want to talk about Caleb Wilson too, and that'll be the last thing I say. And then tomorrow, we will talk about the trade, the fucking worst trade I ever seen in NBA history with Giannis. I don't love that trade at all, bro. I feel like the Bucks finessed the Heat terribly, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I feel like when you trade for an all-star, the team that trades for that superstar, that all-star player, usually wins. And I don't feel that way for the Heat. But the Bucks came up like crazy, Chad. The Bucks are gonna be decent as hell next year. I'm not gonna lie to you. Another team in the NBA that's added a fucking Twin Towers lineup if they decide to keep Miles Turner, which I think they should. Because that way you're able to fucking have a big in the lineup that can be a rim protector, somebody that can get some post hooks and shit like that in there with Khalil Ware. Then you also have a guy like Miles Turner that can stretch the floor, shoot threes, shoot mid-range shots, get on the pick and pop. The Bucks are in a great position, even with Tyler Hero too. And they kept Kyle Kuzma over there as well, which they're saying that Kyle Kuzma is supposed to be a fucking throw-in piece with the Giannis trade. So the Bucks are up 1,000,000 points, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Because I do think there might be a chance some trades happen later tonight, early morning. I kind of like what I'm seeing. Here. He's a guy that can attack the basket, has a little bag to him, and can play defense. One of the things they even highlight in their videos is defensive capability. So even if we just drafted a 3-and-D guy, which so that he turns to a 3-and-D guy, that's amazing. Because that's what we're eventually going to need. Guys that can play defense, run the floor, and shoot the ball. Because I'm seeing somebody that could be great in our offense as we're trying to speed up the pace of our offense and get in transition since we have a young team. This is a guy that seems very athletic and can run the floor with modest. And all we're going to need is a point guard that can run the floor with him. Wish Lonzo was still on our team and healthy. Because, I mean, Josh Giddey does a pretty great job at moving the ball, but it's not like how Lonzo was. I ain't going to lie. So most of the time, Josh Giddey just takes it himself. He doesn't even, to be honest with you. Josh Giddey's a better passer, not in transition, but in a set, where they're trying to start running plays and some shit like this, where they're already he's a great half-court playmaker, But in transition, he's a little iffy in my personal opinion. I feel like most of the time when we had great transition plays is when like Colin Sexton was in the game, to be honest with you. And I know what I'm talking about. I went to like 9 Bulls games in person this year, and I watched about half of the 82 on TV as well. So I'm a very seasoned Bulls fan here. I like what I'm seeing. I feel like this guy is what Patrick Williams was supposed to be. I'm not gonna lie. A guy that can shoot the ball, a guy that can play defense, and somebody that can attack a basket and run in transition. So, in all honesty, he can honestly fuck around and help Patrick Williams develop. Him and Patrick Williams could develop nicely next to each other, having 2 guys on our team that can shoot the ball, run in transition, and defend. It could be a nice pickup, Chad. Not gonna lie. Tiago Splitter is like they said, he's a great coach and helps young guys. Y'all seen what he do with Denny Avdia over there in Portland. I see the vision. And he moves amazing for his size, Chad. He has a nice little offensive bag. Pull up. Okay. I like this. Pull up. By the way, is the second round of the draft tonight? Or is it going to be tomorrow? The Knicks are making some interesting moves right now in this second round. They're moving a lot of picks around in the second round. He likes his little pull-up. He likes his little cross to his pull-up. Great defense. This is going to be an amazing pickup, chat. I'm not going to lie. I would love to see him develop next to Patrick Williams. I'd love to see Patrick Williams develop. The problem, can we talk about Pat Will real quick too? Then we're gonna end this off. With the Kelly Wilson shit I got going on. Patrick Williams is not a terrible basketball player at all, by no means. In my personal opinion, the problem that Bulls fans have with Patrick Williams is where we selected him at, and then how much we paid him with what he's producing on the floor. Go to Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams was getting paid a $90 million contract, and he's only averaging 7 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist on shooting 37% from the field. And he's technically a 4. We're playing him in that 4 slot, which means he's not shooting the ball a lot. Like, not a lot of threes. He shot 9 threes here. Jesus. Like, look, he's not shooting that many threes, so a lot of his shit is like layups and shit. He misses a lot of dunks, y'all. A lot of dunks. He shot 37% from the field, 34% from 3. If we can get that field goal percentage up to about a 55 to a 64, and get this up to like a 38 and plays extremely well defense, rebounds the basketball, this could be something that can work out for us with Pat Will. Like, he has, and another thing with Patrick Williams too, people don't really like give him a little excuse for, a little slap on the wrist for. He is injured a lot. So, how many times since we drafted him, I don't know what year we drafted him. When did we draft? That's a great question. In 2021? 2020? How many times have we really seen a healthy Patrick Williams that we also got to give a little grace to? So he's heading into what, year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Heading into year 7. Patrick Williams draft class. And this is the problem with that draft class here. Figure the 2020. Look at guys we could have had. We could have had Denny Avia, chat. Devin Vassell. We could have had Tyrese Halliburton. Could have had a Cole Anthony, Isaiah Stewart, a Sadiq Bey, a Tyrese Maxey, Emmanuel Quickly, a Jaden McDaniels, a Desmond Bain. We had options here, chat. And I'm not going to hold you. For some fucking reason, Caleb Wilson gives me Patrick Williams vibes. And I don't know why. So the second round must be tomorrow. Because ain't no picks. It doesn't say like New York Knicks are on the clock or anything like that. But I don't know. When we drafted him, like, when I seen Cam Boozer go to 3, I'm like, fuck. Then the Bulls pick was in. They said Caleb Wilson. It was like not like a sight of happiness. It was like, okay, we didn't fuck this up. We got the guy that we should have got. But like, it wasn't like a let's fucking go. We got somebody. It was like, okay, we made the right decision in terms of who was best available. You know, like, I don't know. I don't know, chat. Like, it didn't really like fully hit for some reason. It did not fully grasp for me that like, okay, let's go. I'm excited. This is our guy. I didn't feel that. So yeah, we gonna see what happens. And just go from there. We just gotta hope for the best. Literally, just hope for the best that plans out. And see, I thought I was gonna be able to do the draft for the second round draft tonight. Obviously, we're gonna have to wait till tomorrow. It seems like I'll probably tune in from the first 8 picks here because the Bulls have the 38th pick, and then from there, I'm not watching all the way to pick 56, not gonna lie. And then from there, we'll just see what's popping afterwards. But, yeah. Obviously. I also want to know when is... Just real quick, and we're going to end it. Okay, June 30th is the day NBA free agency starts, where we're going to start seeing some big trades, probably. Some big moves. And then July 1st is when everything opens up fully. But June 30th is the day contracts can be negotiated, and we start reaching some verbal agreements here where we start getting them shams, bombs, and all that good stuff. Then July 1st when everything opens up for all players. I do think it's going to start off slow, to be honest with you. I don't think nobody's going to be in a rush to make big trades or sign players right away, because I think everybody's going to be, now that Giannis is traded, I think the next big guy everybody's waiting on is LeBron, to be honest with you, seeing where LeBron goes. Another one would be whether what's going on with Kawhi? Is Kawhi's contract being voided or what? I feel like that shit should have been already, like, if it was going to be voided, that should have been a conversation that's already been had and should be out to the public, considering that free agency literally starts next week. So the fact that it's not and free agency starts already next week, I would assume his contract will be great. His contract is going to be good to go, and he's going to be staying with LA. So the next guy in line, free agency, is LeBron James, as crazy as that sounds with him being fucking 64 years old. But until they have some type of agreement there, I don't think nobody's gonna get signed. Nobody's gonna get traded. All that good stuff. Especially with the Lakers. The Lakers aren't gonna be signing Austin Reeves, signing Rui back. None of that shit until they figure out if they're keeping LeBron or not. And if Rui and Austin Reeves does sign back a long-term deal, especially Austin Reeves, that means LeBron is not staying in LA at all. He's leaving. Because LeBron is not taking no league minimum to play with the Lakers. That shit overly fraud. I do think LeBron's going to sign like a 2-3 year deal anyways. And then after that 2-3 year deal, I honestly think it's going to be 2 years. He's going to retire after that. Like, I could really see him signing a 2-year deal with somebody. And after that 2 years, signing a 1-year deal, and that'd be his retirement tour after that, which makes the most sense to me, depending on how his body and shit's feeling after next year. But yeah, I really want LeBron to go to San Antonio, but that'll be a conversation we have tomorrow. I know I talked about it a little bit. That shit ain't dropped on YouTube yet. It's a full episode. We talked about it on live. And y'all was kind of not agreeing with me, but because y'all was some OKC fans, but it's good. I'd love to see LeBron play in San Antonio. I think LeBron goes to San Antonio, play with Wemby. With the pieces they have over there, they do win a championship. So that's what I think. But more coverage comes on tomorrow, man. I'm gonna end stream, all that good stuff. I want to make sure I did stream a little bit today. I'm gonna stream for an hour. Do I go for an hour? We're 44 minutes in, 54. It'll be 16 minutes. Damn near. It's already about to be 11 o'clock. I want to relax before I go into work. But, yeah, we're going to talk about the Giannis trade and all that shit tomorrow. And hope something else happens tonight. I'm really hoping for a Ja Morant trade or something to happen tonight. With the first round of the draft being already, you feel me, cemented. Even though I think nothing will happen to LeBron. The LeBron shit gets. This is going to be a fun offseason, man. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a very fun offseason. Has potential. I think Sengun has a chance to leave the Rockets because of how ass he was last year. It's a lot of shit, possibilities, a lot of shit flipping. But I will see y'all tomorrow. Back with more coverage. Hope y'all enjoyed. See y'all in the next one. Peace.